Hello and welcome to the GH Additional Maths and Science Clinic for BC candidates. This is mathematics and we'll be doing our lesson 6, and our topic for discussion is word problems using linear equations. We'll be looking at word problems using linear equations or equations. Now let's look at our assignments. In our assignment, the first question was for us to solve the following. And that's the equation 3x minus 17 over 2 is greater than 4x minus 1 over 2. Now we are to linearize this and we have to multiply through by 2. So 2 divided by x minus 17 over 2 times 2 is greater than 2 times 4x minus half into bracket 2. I realized that I was trying to put the 2 either before or after just to avoid the negative sign, but you can place it just after the negative sign. So this will cancel out that. This will also cancel out that. So you'd have 6x minus 17 is greater than 8x minus 1. So grouping like terms, you'd have 6x, then the 8x will cross, minus 8x is greater than, you have negative 1 here, plus 17. So 6x minus 8x is negative 2x is greater than negative 1 plus positive 17 is 16. So we have negative 2x greater than 16. Now we want x to stand alone, so we divide through by 2. You have negative x is greater than 8. However, we are making x the subject, not negative x. So you multiply through by negative, and then the quotient comes. Once you are multiplying through by negative or dividing through by negative, the inequality sign changes. So negative x times negative becomes positive x. Immediately the sign changes. The negative times 8 to make it negative 8. So this is the answer for this question. Okay, so in this question, you realize that you have a denominator of 2 and 5, so you multiply through by 10. So 10 into bracket 2a minus half into bracket 10 greater or equal to 10 into bracket 1 over 5a plus 6, 10. So we're multiplying through by 10. Now 10 times 2 is 20a minus 2 into that is 5 greater or equal to is 2, that's 2a plus 60. So you group like terms. So you have 20a minus 2a greater or equal to 60 plus 5. So this is 18a greater or equal to 65. Now, to make a stand alone, you divide through by 18, divide through by 18. So in effect, you have a is greater or equal to 65 over 18. Now, how many times can 18 go into 65? You know 18 times 2 will be 36. What about 18 times 3? Let's check. 18 times 3. 3, 8 is 24, 2, 3, 1 is 3 plus 2, that's 5, 54. Now, can 18 times 4 go? Let's first see. Now 65 minus 64 is 11, so it's not possible. So the farthest is a 3 whole number. So you have 3 whole number, that is 54, remainder 11. 54 from 65 is 11 over 18, and that is our outcome. So in this question we are finding 7b minus 1 is less than 7 plus 5b. There are no denominators, so we straight up can find it by grouping like terms. So we have 7b minus 5b is less than 7 plus 1. 7b minus 5b is 2b is less than 7 plus 1 is 8. So to let b stand alone, you divide by 2. So b is less than 4. And that's the outcome for this. Now in the second question, we're asked to draw the number lines of the following. So I'll draw the following on number line. So the first question is 3x is greater or equal to 6. 3x is greater or equal to 6. So you first need to let x stand alone. So you divide by 3, divide by 3. So that's x, that's 2. So x is greater or equal to 2. So your number line, you need a positive side more. So 0, negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. X is greater or equal to 2. So this are 2. So we've succeeded to find the 2, and x is greater than that. So it's supposed to go this way. But it's not just greater, it is greater or equal to. So once that equal to comes in, then you fill in this point. You write on it, x is greater or equal to 2. This is for this question. Now the next question says 4 is less than negative 8x. 4 is less than negative 8x. Now outrightly you realize that negative 8 is interfering with the x. So you need to divide both sides by negative 8. So negative 8. The negative cancels, the 8 cancels. You have x standing alone. Now because you divided by negative, immediately your inequality sign changes. Once there's a negative multiplication or divided by a negative, your inequality sign changes. So you have 4 over negative 8. Now 4 over negative 8 means that 4 here is 1, 4 here is 2. So you have 1 over negative 2, which is the same as negative half. Now, just trace the equation so that your x will come to the left hand side. So you have x is less than negative half. Now, the concept is for you to draw a number line, but the number line is asking that you find values that are with x less than negative half. So it means you need the negative side more. So 0, 1, negative 1, negative 2. Now, where would you find your negative half on this equation? That is this point, negative half. So you mark it negative half. So x is less than, so it will not be shaded. And numbers less than negative half are smaller than negative half. So it will take you to this side with the arrow sign pointing there. So x is less than negative half. Now one trick, you realize that the arrow here and then the sign are in the same direction. So that's one of the ways of getting to know which direction your arrow is supposed to move. Mostly you realize that that is the direction it moves to. So that is for the next question. Great. Now in this next question we are to draw the number line, but you realize that b is standing alone, so we have no challenges with that. However, there is a double inequality, so we need to split it into two before we draw. So let me mark it out. So we are going to find this, and then let me use yellow. Then we are going to find that. So the two inequalities we have is -2 less than b, and then b is less or equal to 4. Now -2 less than b, you can turn it around so that it becomes b is greater than -2. As always, the bigger sign points to the b, so when you turn, so the bigger sign has to point to the b. So these are our two separate inequality signs from the original question. So we have b is supposed to be less than 4 and b is supposed to be greater than -2. So let's draw a number line. So on a number line we should have 4 on the positive side, we should have -2 on the negative side so that we can appropriately assign. So 0 here, 2 here, 4, can have 6, have -2 and then -4. Now let's take this one. B is less or equal to 4. Where's our 4? This is our 4. And B is less, so it will go that way. Meanwhile, it is less or equal to mean that you need to shade in here. Now you can't fix your final arrow because we are not done. We first have to deal with the other side before we can look at what happens. Now in this one, B is greater than -2. Where is -2? Here. And what are the numbers that are greater than -2? To go in this direction, so immediately it will join. Now it was B is greater than -2, not greater or equal to, so it will still stay empty like this. So write our final equation on this: 2 less than b less or equal to 4. And that is our outcome for that question. Now in the final question here, it's -1 is greater or equal to x, greater or equal to 3. Now this computation would also be broken into two before we can draw a number line, or to make the drawing of the number line easy. So we'll deal with this portion, then we'll deal with that portion. So go this way. Now before then, let me split it into two clear equations so that we'll be able to decipher. So we have -1 is greater or equal to x, or better, so you can write it as x is less or equal to -1. And then the other half, you have x is greater or equal to 3 as the equation. So draw a number line. You are supposed to have an x greater or equal to 3. So there should be a 3 positive, and x is less or equal to -1. There's a -1. So you draw your number line with that in mind. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. -1, -2. Okay, so let's deal with this one. X is less or equal to -1. Numbers that are lesser than -1 go this way. So x is less or equal to -1. So less or equal to, so this way, and then the arrow that way. Now the other half of the equation is x is greater or equal to 3. So this is x, and it is greater or equal to, so greater or equal to go that way. So you realize that the two arrows are pointing otherwise. So right somewhere in the middle, -1 greater or equal to x greater or equal to 3, and that is for that number line. Now, in the third question, we are supposed to solve the following. But I realize that all these have a double inequality. All these have a double inequality. Just like we were trying to do the number line, in this one too, we'll try and we would split it into two so that one inequality forms an equation, we solve it, the other inequality forms an equation, we solve it, then we bring them together. So our first step is to do the split. So this would be 1, and then the other one would be this. So in effect, you have 3 over 4x minus 5 is greater or equal to 2x. That is one equation. Then you have another equation, 2x is less or equal to 15 minus x. Okay, so let's try and solve this left one. So realize that there's 3 over 4x. That is a denominator that is interfering with our solution. So we would first multiply through by 4. So 4 here, 3 over 4x minus 5 into bracket 4 greater or equal to 2x into bracket 4. So this cancels that. You have 3x minus 5 times 4 is 20 greater or equal to 8x. Now we would want the x to be on the right hand side so that in our final equation we can have x in the middle, because this is the left side equation. So we'd rather take the 3x to the right hand side. So we'll have negative 20 greater or equal to 8x minus 3x. So in effect you have negative 20 greater or equal to 5x. Now you want x to stand alone because of your final equation. So you divide by 5, then you do the same thing here. So you have x, 5 into negative 20 is negative 4. So this is our temporal one side of the equation. Now this is the other half of the equation. So let's solve that too. We have 2x less or equal to 15 minus x. Now in this one, we'll prefer the x being on the left hand side. So 2x and then this x will join plus x is less or equal to 15. 2x plus x is 3x less or equal to 15. X can't stand alone, so you don't want x to stand alone, sorry. So you need to divide by 3 by 3. So you have x less or equal to 5. So you have these two equations. That is this equation and that equation. Now to write the outcome for this, you put the x in the middle. On the left hand side, that is where you have this. You have this negative 4, and then right hand side you have this 5. This is the final outcome for that inequality. Alright, move to the next one. Now in this question 2, we'll split it into our two halves. Let me make it the half. So you have this left side and then this right side. Okay, so let's first deal with the left hand side. We have 8a plus 3 less 2a. Now, just like we did for the earlier one, this one would want the letters to be on the right hand side so that to be in the middle. So you have 8a moving to the right hand side, so 3 left here, minus 2a minus 8a. So minus 2a minus 8a is minus 10a, and that's 3. Now, because we want a to stand alone, you divide through by negative 10. These two by negative 10. And like you are aware, anytime you multiply through or divide by negative, the sign changes. So outrightly, the sign becomes a greater than sign. So this will cancel out a over here. Sorry. Then minus 3 over 10 on the left hand side. Now the right hand side, you have negative 2a less than 4 minus a. Now in this one, you would want the letters to come on the left hand side. So you have minus 2a, and this one will join plus a is less than 4. So minus 2a plus a is minus a is less than 4. But I don't need a in the negative, you need it in the positive. So you multiply through by a negative sign. So this will become a, then immediately the sign will change. This will become negative 4. So our two equations to deal with are these and that. So you place the a in the middle. On the left hand side you have negative 3 over 10. Then on the right hand side you have negative 4. So this is your outcome. And that's for our B portion of the question. Now our final question. So as usual, we break it into the two halves. So we have this half and we have that half. So let's look at the left half. So we have 11 over 12x minus 1 over 6 is greater than 3x. So outrightly you realize that you need to clear the denominators by multiplying through by 12. So 11 over 12x minus 1 over 6, 12 is greater than 3x, 12. So this cancels out, give you 11x. This is 2, so minus 2. Greater than 3x times 2 is 36x. Now, because it's double inequality and we would want the x to be in the middle, we would move 11x to the right hand side. So we have this original 11x minus 2 greater than 36x. So to become negative 2 is greater than 36x minus 11x. So 36 minus 11 is 25x. That is positive. However, we don't want x to stand. We want x to stand alone. We can't leave it as 25x. So you divide by 25. Do the same to the left hand side. So we have x negative 2 over 25. So that is the outcome for the left hand side of the equation. So we can now move to deal with the right hand side. Now on the right hand side we have 3x greater than 1 over 4, but I want x to stand alone. So you would need to first multiply through the equation by 4. So you have 4 into bracket 3x greater than 1 over 4. So 4 on both sides. You have 12x is greater than 1. However, I want x to stand alone, so over 12 over 12. We have x is greater than 1 over 12. Now that is for the right hand side. So write our final equation. You put our x in the middle. What do you have on the left? You have negative 2 over 25. And then on the right, you have 1 over 12. So this is our outcome. Great. So I expect that you got most of the answers right in this assignment. So we'll quickly move on to our study for the day. Our first word problem. When 12 is added to a certain number and the sum is multiplied by 4, the result is 60. Find the number. So let x represent the number. Okay, so now the number is x. So when 12 is added to a certain number, so x will be there, and then 12 is added to that certain number x. And the sum is multiplied by 4. X plus 12 gives an outcome, that is the sum. So x plus 12 has an outcome, which is a sum. Sum is the addition of two numbers, and the result is multiplied by 4. So this result is multiplied by 4. The outcome of the result is 60. So when 12 is added to a number, 12 is added to a number x, and the sum is multiplied by 4. So the sum is the one in the bracket multiplied by 4. The result is 60. Find the number. So you just expand 4x plus 12 times 4, 4 times 12 is 48 is equal to 60. Now grouping like terms is 4x is equal to 60 minus 48, which is 12, 4x. So you divide both sides by 4, 3x. So x is equal to 3. So that's the outcome. Now let's logically think through the solution and see if we are right. So when 12 is added to a certain number, so we can say that when 12 is added to x, or better still, when 12 is added to 3, that would make it 15. So when 12 is added to 3, that is 15. So 15 is the sum, and the sum is multiplied by 4. So the sum of 15 multiplied by 4, 15 times 4 is what? 60. The result is 60, meaning that our solution or our answer is right. Let's take another example. Now in this question, it says, two consecutive odd numbers are such that 7 times the smaller subtracted from 9 times the bigger gives 144. Find the two numbers. Find the two numbers. So we go like, let x be the smaller odd number. Now you know that odd numbers are numbers that are not divisible by 2 perfectly. You have a remainder of 1. So for example, if you take the 5 as a first odd number, the next odd number will be plus 2. That will give you 7. The next odd number will be plus 2. That will give you 9. So you want to know the consecutive odd number from a current odd number, you add 2. So if you take 11 as an odd number, the next odd number is 11 plus 2, that is 13. 13 plus 2, that is 15. 15 plus 2, that is 17. That's how odd numbers run out. So let x be the smaller odd number. So that's that. Then the consecutive odd number. So next odd number, certainly the bigger odd number, will be x plus 2. Now the question says that they are such that 7 times the smaller subtracted from 9 times the bigger. It means then 9 times the bigger would be there, then go and subtract the other one from it. So 9 times the bigger, what is the bigger? X plus 2. And then you are subtracting 7 times the smaller. So 7 times, what is the smaller? That is X. It will give you 144. Let me try and explain this again. Now, you have 2 odd numbers, a first one and the second one. Certainly, the first one is smaller than the second one, or better still, the second one is bigger than the first one. So if the first one is X, and like I explained, every odd number is different from the other one by a plus 2. So 11 plus 2 is 13. So then the next odd number is X plus 2. Now, the question specifically states that it is such that 7 times the smaller, so that is 7 times X, that is 7X, when subtracted from 9 times the bigger. So you have to first find 9 times the bigger, and then you subtract 7X from it. So that is it. 9 times the bigger minus 7X is equal to 144. Alright, so at this point you expand. You have 9X plus 9 times 2 is 18 minus 7X is equal to 144. Now grouping like terms, you have 9X minus 7X is equal to 144 minus 18. 9X minus 7X is 2X is equal to now 144 minus 18. Let's solve here. 4, 18. 4 minus 8 is not possible. So you bring 1 from this 4 plus that is 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. Meanwhile, you have 3 over here. 3 left for the middle 4, because you move 1 to join this 4. So 3 minus 1 is 2, and then 1, so 126. So 2x go to 126, but you want x to stand alone. So 2x over 2, 126 over 2. That is x is equal to 2 into 12 is 6. And then 2 into 6 is 3. So x is equal to 63. Now from our first statement, we said that let x be the smaller number. So the smaller number is 63, and then the bigger number, the next odd number, is 63 plus 2. 63 plus 2, which is 65. So your odd numbers are 63 and 65. 63 and 65. Now in the next question, it says Kojo is n years old now. So currently he is n years old. How old was he 5 years ago? So let's take it one by one. So he's now n years. 5 years ago, how old was he? So let me just use numbers. Let's take that Kojo is 10 years now. 10 years now. I'm using a number to replace the n. Kojo is 10 years now. How old was he 5 years? So 5 years, he was 5 years old. Now, how did you get that 5 years old? You subtracted this 5 years ago from his current age of 10 years. Let me use another number. So Kojo is 12 years old now. How old was he 5 years ago? So if he is 12, 5 years ago will be 12 minus 5. That will give you 7 years. So 5 years ago, he was 7 years. Meaning that you subtracted the 5 from his current age. In the same way, his current age is n. His current age is n. So you subtract 5 from it, and that would be his years. So how old was he 5 years ago? It is n minus 5 years. Now how old would he be in 10 years from now? So currently is n years, that's n years. In 10 years time, how old will he be? So you just have to add the 10 years from now to his current age. So that will be n plus 10 years. So in 10 years from now, Kojo would be n plus 10 years old. Then the final question. If his age in 10 years time will be 4 times his age 5 years ago, how old is he now? Now this is an equation. It's an equation because we are comparing his age in two different instances. That is, if his age in 10 years time means it is equal to 4 times his age 5 years ago, how old is he now? So let's write a statement for this. If his age in 10 years time, that is n plus 10 will be, for the equal sign, will be 4 times his age 5 years ago. Now 5 years ago, what was his age? N minus 5. So 4 times that age. So 4 times his age 5 years ago. That is 4 into bracket n minus 5. 4 into bracket n minus 5. Now this is the equation for this statement. So we just solve and then you find n. When you find n, that is his age now. So n plus 10 is equal to 4n minus 20. Group like terms, we have n minus 4n is equal to minus 20 minus 10. Now n minus 4n is negative 3n minus 20 minus 10, or negative 20 minus 10 is negative 30. Now divide both sides by negative 3 here, negative 3 there. That is n is equal to, that is 10. So his age now is 10 years. His age now is 10 years. Now the next question. The average age of a family of 8 is 30 years. The average age of the 6 children in the family is 19 years. If the mother is 4 years younger than the father, calculate the age of the father. Calculate the age of the father. Now, the first point in here is that the family has a number of 8 people and their average age is 30 years. Now, average age means that when you divide the total age of all the people in the family by 8, you get 30. That is, if you want to find the total age of the ages of the family members, it will be 30 times 8, because the average age is 30. That is, when you divide the total age by 8, you get 30. So if you want to find the total age, you multiply 30 by 8, it will give you the total age of the members of the family. And the next point, the average age of the 6 children in the family is 19 years. Meaning that, yes, there are children, there are 6 of them, and they also have an average age of 19, because you know all the kids will not have the same age. So you can also find the total age of the children. Now the family is made up of 8 and 6 are children. Then we have been told about the mother and the father, meaning that the remaining 2 people in the family are the mother and father. So the average age of the children can be known, the average age of the family can be known. Meaning that when you take out the average age of the member, of the children, from the average age of the family, it gives you the average age of the parents, that is the mother and father. Then the next point is that the mother is 4 years younger than the father. the mother is 4 years younger than the father. So you are calculating for the age of the father. So let's go systematically. So total age of family is equal to 30 times 8. 30 times 8 is 240. 3 8 24. Then plus 0 240. Okay, so total age of children. Total age of children. Now we are told there are 6 children and their total average age is 19. So 19 times 6 is the average, the total age of the children. Now 10 times 6 is 60 plus 9 is 54. So I taught you from the beginning of the lessons, first multiply 6 by 10 and then multiply 6 by 9. So 60 plus 54 is 114. That's the total age of the children. Now, when you know the total age of the family, the total age of the children, when you subtract the total age of children from the total age of the family, you'll be left with the total age of parents. So let's find that. Total age of parents. That's 240 minus 114. 240 minus 114. Let's use our regular kind of notation. Subtraction. 114. So 0 minus 4 is not possible. So you bring 1 there, making it 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. Now this 4 is left with 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So 126. So total age of parents is 126. However, we have been told that the mother is 4 years younger than the father. So although the total age is 126, their individual ages vary by a difference of 4. So let's move on. Now, from the question, we know that the mother is younger by 4 years or the father is older by 4 years. So let mother's age be x, then the father's age will therefore be x plus 4. Now we have x plus 4 is equal to 126. X plus x is 2x plus 4 is equal to 126 plus 6. So 2x is equal to 126 minus 4. That is 123 for 2x. Now you want x to stand alone, so over 2 over 2. You have x is equal to 2 into 12 is 6. 2 into 2 is 1. So 61 years. Now the age of the mother is x, so the mother will be 61. Then the father, so this is mother. So the father, who is 2x plus 4. Let me clean it right. So x plus 4 over 61 plus 4 is equal to 65. So the age of the father is 65. The age of the father is 65. While the age of the mother is 61. 61 plus 65 is 126. And that was the earlier total we found. Now, final example so that you would take your examples. The sides of a rectangle are x plus 1 meters and 2x plus 5 meters. If the perimeter is 36 meters, find the value of x. If the perimeter is 36 meters, find the value of x. Now you know that for a perimeter, so let's draw a rectangle. This is our rectangle, and we are saying that the perimeter, the sides are x plus 1 and 2x plus 5. X plus 1 and 2x plus 5. Now, to find the perimeter of a rectangular object, you add the length on all sides, meaning that this length plus that length plus this length plus that length. And that this length is repeated over here, so this is the same as x plus 1. And this is also repeated over here, that is also 2x plus 5. So these are the sides of the rectangle. Now we are saying that the perimeter is the addition of all these sides. So if it's the addition of all these sides, then that will be equal to 36. So there are two sides with 2x plus 5, that is this and that. And there are also two sides with x plus 1, that is also that. So we go. So 2 times 2x plus 5 plus 2 times x plus 1. And this should be equal to 36. So let's expand. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 1 is 2 is equal to 36. Now let's group it in like terms. So we have 4x plus 2x plus 10 plus 2 is equal to 36. 4x plus 2x is 6x. 10 plus 2 is 12. It's equal to 36. So we have 6x equal to 36 minus 12. So 36 minus 12 is 24. Divide that by this, divide by 6. So x is equal to 4. X is equal to 4. So the sides 2x plus 5 and then x plus 1 has 4 being the value of x. Okay, great. Thanks so much for your time. I'll send some questions to the platform for you to solve, and that will be your assignment. All right. Have a great day, and bye-bye.